Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Cardano once again. You know, we've hit 50k subs and it's amazing. I just want to thank you personally, the viewer, for everything you do to contribute towards the growth of this channel here. It's great. Thank you for being a member of the CoinsKid community. Get yourself into the Telegram group if you're not already involved, and thank you to everyone that's signed up to the Patreon. It's amazing, the level of support that I've got. I really do appreciate it. It's fantastic. So yeah, diving into Cardano, you can see that hopefully we're going to form this W double bottom, but yesterday we gave you this little target here, this kind of falling wedge, and we gave you the breakup target. So that's played out beautifully. Do you see that little trade right there? So that was a nice little long position when you broke out of that, and that was basically an 8% trade up to that, because that's what happens when you start to form this falling wedge. It's not very pretty, but it gets tighter, okay? And when it gets tighter, it usually breaks up to the upside, and the target is always where it formed the wedge. It's not very pretty, I do know that, but you could see it's tight, breaks out, and then we come back up on ourselves. So what we do need to see now, because you can see what's happening, we've got the pickup, we've had that double bottom hopefully, but you do need to see ourselves come back up and test this resistance line, okay? Because this is the neckline of a W double bottom, okay? And we did anticipate this, like literally when Cardano was falling down here and we started to pump up and we formed this resistance line, we did say that if we can paint this particular pattern, it's a really good recovery pattern, okay? So, but you do need to see Cardano come up and at least test this particular level here of $1.31, because if it doesn't, then you're failing to create this pattern, okay? And you're potentially sort of going to roll over and come back down and test this support, and effectively what you're starting to do is create these lower highs. Do you see this? So it contributes more towards your downturn like that, where you do actually get pushed down and then again get forced down to test lower lows. So we do need to see ourselves come back up. This is good though. On the 4-hourly time frame, you can see we're above the 20 EMA, and you know for experience now that these things don't happen overnight. They do take time to come to fruition, but so far so good. And like I say, all patterns are valid until invalidated away, okay? And so far so good. We are sort of coming up, but like I said, you do need to see Cardano retest this level now as resistance. Hopefully, you know, if you do see it get through that level of resistance, like something like this, okay? So Cardano gets back up and starts to creep above this red line, which is the 55 EMA on the 4-hourly time frame, okay? If it gets back above that, starts to hit its Z there, and then get through it and backtest it as backtest that resistance as support at $1.31, you will see a lovely little pump there for Cardano, you know, taking you up to those highs and basically the reversal like this that we've got and going on and looking for in Cardano. So far so good. You know, you don't need to think otherwise. The only otherwise is if you do start to hit here and roll over, then potentially, you know, you could start to come down and test these lower lows, because it's like I said to you, if you do zoom out on the daily time frame, okay, you can form into these higher lows, okay? Do you see this in this sort of large ascending triangle that we've got going on for Cardano, where you form into these ascending lows? So if you do start to roll out of this particular level of support right now, you are going to sling these EMAs over your shoulder and start to come down to these lower levels, and then start to make lower lows and basically rolling over, okay? And we don't want that. So far so good. You know, we're getting a nice recovery here for Cardano after this sort of capitulation almost event, this collapse, so to speak. And again, like so many times, I want to reassure you that this is perfectly healthy in itself, that it comes down and it bounces off these key levels of support, because it shows that it's holding and it's a continuation trend, okay? Until you start coming down, because this, I'll tell you right now what a bear market looks like. That's a bear market, okay? That's a bear market. That's a bear market where you're just constantly coming down under the EMAs, you're going sideways, you're coming up for air, and you're getting bash back down, and you're under the daily 20 EMA there, you're under the 55, and it's just no end in sight, and it's boring, it's crap, and it's horrible, and there's potentially no upside. You might have a bit of upside one day, but then it rolls over and comes down even more, and you're just constantly being pushed down, okay? So at the moment, I want to give you confirmation that you are in a bull market, and that is what a bull market looks like. That is what an uptrend looks like, okay? So far so good. No need to panic, no need to jump for the hills and sell and go to the beach, so to speak, okay? So that's what we do in this channel. We'll always tell you the truth and always give you a level of reassurance, and tell you what we see. Basically, I won't fill you no spiel. So far so good. We're looking like we're getting a recovery, but again, you know, you can see how tight these EMAs are getting. Look how they've not been this tight. Look at these EMAs, okay? The EMAs, look, they've not been this tight for so long since you formed that bullish cross down there, okay? You went up, you topped out, you rolled over, triple top, so to speak, almost rolled over and lost the EMAs, okay? But you didn't. You bounced off the 55 there, got this coming together with the EMAs, which is beautiful, by the way. You get this EMA retest because, look, you're looking at a very similar situation right now, what you've got Cardano. You've gone up, you've made a peak, you rolled over, and you made another peak, you've made another peak, and you start to roll, it looks bad, but you've forced the EMAs to come back together, okay? As something called an EMA retest, where it confirms you're in an uptrend and it sort of propels it like a magnet. Do you see that? And look at the appreciation you can get. Look at what happens when you get that confirmation of support, just like what you're getting up here. You've rolled over, you've made 3 peaks, okay, looks bad, oh no, rolled over, but you're getting the EMAs come together and you're getting a confirmation of support, and hopefully, you know, that confirmation and that bullish bias, and then the confidence come back in the market, and it's just a continuation trend, my friend. Continuation trend, my friend, because one thing you have to remember, the trend is your friend until the end, and basically the trend is an uptrend. So that's basically Cardano. I will zoom in a little bit. I'm going to try and zoom in on the hourly time frames more often on these videos, and try and see if I can give some potential plays. So right now you can see that Cardano does need to go on. You've got a bullish cross on the hourly time frame there. Do you see that on the EMA? So that's good, because if you now can keep coming back testing this EMA as support, like you've got above it here, do you see you was in a downtrend, okay, you was in a bearish cross on the hourly time frame, you're being forced down, and this was acting as resistance. This is a downtrend, this is a bear market, do you see that? But not in a bear market in the sense of right now, but this is what a bear market looks like on a 4-hourly time frame, and it's horrible, okay, it's horrible, trust me, I know, it's brutal. So basically you're in a bit of a downtrend now on the hourly time frame. You've been forced down, you're hitting your head, you get a bit of breathing space, come back up, and what you do, you form this level of resistance right now. This is a key level of resistance, this particular level that we're targeting on the 4-hour. So you come up, you've created that, that's golden, that's a golden signal that you've come up and you've actually rejected and come back down, and you've hit the previous bottom of support, because now what you're doing, you're showing that you found support and you need to come back up and test this, okay, test this, get through it, and you're golden for that recovery up there, taking you up to that target there, and obviously approaching them all-time highs as well. So let me just show you, if you can get through this particular level now as resistance and backtest support, you are looking at a lovely little trade there for Cardano of around 10%. So do target that particular level, that $1.31 mark. If you do see yourself coming up there, backtest and support, you know, you could potentially look at that beautiful little trade up there for Cardano. But so far, so good. We are back testing the EMA, the 20 EMA here on the hourly time frame, okay, bullish cross. If we continue to keep back testing it, just like I've said in multiple videos, okay, what happens is it forces the price up. So this creeps up, okay, and then the EMA, the price action is back testing it as support constantly, and it forces you up to test these levels and take them on, okay. So that's basically Cardano right now, okay. If you did see it get rejected, right, if you did see it get rejected, then I would potentially look at a bit of a short opportunity back down to at least this support line here. You see this support line that we've got going on, and like I said to you in yesterday's video, this will always creep, okay, as time goes on, you know, this particular level of support right here creeps up. So your level of support is getting higher and higher and higher as Cardano creates this recovery for itself, so to speak. Do you get what I mean? So come to your charts, because I can't exactly tell you the target of that particular level of resistance. So if Cardano comes up here now and sort of rolls over or starts to get rejected, okay, then do anticipate you could look at a bit of a short from wherever you are down to at least test this level of support, because that's what happens. And if it falls through it, obviously it's going to retest this bottom support, which will create a triple bottom, which is actually also a bullish reversal continuation pattern, okay. So they're all patterns in place. So I will try and give you more patterns on the hourly time frame for all these videos now. I do need to remember that, because I am missing some key patterns that I'm not necessarily seeing. Look, there's one pattern here. You see this WW bottom. Do you see that on the hourly time frame? Look at that. Okay, so that's a highly tradable event just there, because what it is, obviously, as you know, you're going down, you found a bottom, you come up, resistance, just like we're anticipating here. Okay, you come down, and what do? You broke it. So you've got moved to the upside, and you move to the upside was this. Okay, look at that, and boom, look where you are now. Boom, highly tradable event. So that's why I do need to zoom in on the hourly time frame for you guys more, to give you more trades. That was a nice 6% long trade there. Do you see that? Beautiful. Target met. So that's a W bottom in itself. So effectively that's what we've got going here, this W SJW bottom, so to speak, but we do need to see the price action come up here and test this 131. So that's Cardano. Hope you enjoyed that update. I will update you regularly on Cardano and keep you posted, but so far so good. But like I said, it's critical that we do actually get to this particular level of resistance right here. Again, you could just open a little long from here, a 4% trade, knowing that it's going to hit its head there. But if it does hit its head and get through it and back test its support, you're golden for that target up there. And I will drop that target in actually, just so you can see. So that target is $1.46, and that would be amazing for Cardano. Do take care, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay safe, stay strong, and most importantly, stay tuned. Bye bye.